Wait, no, you see, in second year I was like, how old? 22, I think.
Around that age.
Around that age.
Yeah.
So
to 21.
the thing that I experienced the most was you walk into, first of all, Majichocha on phone. You know, you're telling these people how you can give them X, Y, Z, and then they're like, let's have a meeting. So once you go and see them, the moment they see you, that's it. Like they already lose hope in you. They know you can't offer anything.
They see a young boy.
They see a young boy. Like, what are you trying to do? And I wasn't as big as I am now. I was quite thin.
Hi everyone and welcome to the Journey Africa. I'm your host Faith Murungu and we're excited to have you for yet another episode. Much welcome. And today we're featuring someone. He'll introduce himself, who got from mechanical engineering to owning a business in the digital space. We're just going to figure out how do you make such a transition, how do you nominate a different industry, and about starting a company. So welcome very much, Collins. Karibu sana.
Asante, thank you for having me.
You're most welcome.
Yes.
So introduce yourself.
Oh yes, I'm Collins Mandela Daniel. What else am I supposed to say? Yes, as she has said, I run a digital marketing agency called Glen Company. So we deal in 360 kind of digital marketing, from above the line marketing to through the line marketing. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Yeah, thank you.
So let's start from why mechanical engineering?
So I've always been one of those people who knew what I wanted to do since I was a child.
For real?
Yeah. I've always
you knew to be a mechanical
I
engineer?
knew what I wanted to do. So I thought it was a mechanic at first because I didn't know what a mechanical engineer was. Yeah, so I was excited. I think everybody around me always called me engineer because they knew I was very passionate about taking apart things and repairing them and just seeing how things work.
Yeah.
But then when I got to campus, what I had in mind, reality versus what's on the ground.
What you did versus what you got.
I know. Because now I saw we're doing a lot of math which I didn't mind.
Yeah.
But now I realize that for me to be an engineer in Kenya, I'll basically be looking at catalogs, making orders. Like I won't really get into the design and into the building that I was actually interested in.
But okay, so what does a mechanical engineer do? Let's start there. Before we say catalogs, you do deserve like.
Well, that's a good question. Yeah. Clearly, after I found out they are not offering what I wanted, I didn't take enough time. Okay, let me say in brief, what we do is we're supposed to come up with designs and concepts that would improve the efficiency of machines and how they run. Yeah, but ideally, that really works in other countries like Germany. But in Kenya now, because we don't have factories that manufacture per se new parts, some new technologies, we end up maintaining things that have already been made. So an mechanical engineer in Kenya, unless you're in a very unique company, you end up doing maintenance mostly.
And maintenance is what we can call in layman's terms repair.
Yes, but then surprising thing is you actually don't even get to do the repair. So someone who's done diploma are better with their hands than you are because you're good at math and delegating and all these things. You're not taught how to use a spanner to fix things. No, you're taught how to design, but then you don't end up designing. So
and you do think about going to Germany and all those places?
Well, money is money is tricky. Yeah, otherwise if I had the opportunity I would have gone. Yeah, so that's how I ended up.
So why do they teach you all these things that you're not going to end up using?
Yeah, so that you can say you have a mechanical engineering degree. Yeah.
We need to have a discussion with the Ministry of Education.
I agree.
Because you're not the first person to sit on this chair or be a guest here and say like whatever you learned it didn't help you at all.
But now you see, for me, that passion, I feel like it was not fulfilled. So I don't want to sit down and look at a catalog and order parts. I actually want to, to be on the ground. And for me to do that, maybe I do a diploma. But then I'm looking at, let's say, the wage bill. And now with this economy right now, it don't make sense.
So is it advisable to start diploma then degree?
Personally, if I knew, I would have done a diploma first. Yeah, so that I can get the hands-on experience. And then I would have done a degree, maybe in another country.
So did you finally get a job in like...
Yeah, I did.
How long did you work in mechanical engineering?
Like a month. And I was like, I'm out. I did. I got a job with a company that does pressurized systems. Yeah, I did that for like a month. Yeah, I know. It was just basically maintenance, and yeah, I didn't like it.
So you quit to do it?
I quit because luckily in campus in second year, when I started figuring out that mechanical engineering in Kenya is a bit I started a company now that's Ariglen.
You studied it in second year?
Yeah, in second year.
Campus,
UN.
What are you now? Okay.
Yeah. What do you mean? The University of Nairobi, please.
No,
Yeah.
okay, it's just love.
So so in second year I started my business. I remember I had to go get a soft loan from my folks because at first I wanted to do tenders. So I thought tenders is where the money is at. But then now with this government of ours, you have to know someone or you have to be willing to give some chums.
Yeah.
But then now because something about me, I'm a Christian. Yeah. So I'm not so comfortable with giving bribes. So luckily I was working in church at that time on my free time. So I was doing media publicity for them. So I was creating AVs, I was doing posters.
What is AVs?
Audiovisuals or infomercials. Yeah. And then I was also helping with sound and a bit of social media marketing for them. So that's when I realized I'm actually good at these things and I wanted to learn more about it. So when I was still in campus, I enrolled in another school to learn more about digital marketing. And then a lot of the things I self-taught through things like HubSpot, just trying to learn more. Yeah, so that's how it started. That's how the journey started. And then I realized I have a lot of smart friends who know what they're doing, but then they don't have opportunities.
Yeah.
So I decided to create a company that would link my smart friends and myself. Yes. To opportunities.
Yeah.
If you go there with a company, they'll listen to you. But if you go there as an individual, they'll be like, Yeah. So that's how it started.
Oh, wow. And when did you land your first client? How was that?
Well, in second year, I was like, how old? 22, I think.
Around that age.
Around that age.
Yeah.
So
to 21.
the thing that I experienced the most was you walk into, first of all, Majichocha on phone. You're telling these people how you can give them X, Y, Z. And then they're like, let's have a meeting. So once you go and see them, the moment they see you, that's it. Like they already lose hope in you. They know you can't offer anything.
They see a young boy.
They see a young boy. Like, what are you trying to do? And I wasn't as big as I am now. I was quite thin. And they look at you and they're like, what can you offer? So we had to do a lot of convincing over time. And luckily, through God's grace, I think during that second year, someone took a chance on us.
How many were you?
At that time, we were like 3 of us. So I was doing digital. I had a friend who was doing artworks, and then someone else was doing web. Yeah. So, we were not really even having salaries. We're just trying to make this thing work.
Yeah.
And we got our first client, and our first paycheck was like 7,000, and we were very excited about it.
Like that's profit now?
No, like the total amount was like 7,000. So,
but as a second year, that's good money.
Yeah, and it's the first money you've ever made. Actually running a business, it's the first time it's ever been profitable. So we each ate, I think, 1,000 bob, and then we used the other money to reinvest. Yeah, but it was reinvest in credits.
Smart guys.
Yeah. So that's how it started.
And how can you say now? So now when you quit, what is it called? Mechanical engineer job, now you went to focus on your business.
Yes, so luckily by that time we had gained a bit of traction. So a lot of people had started trusting us and we are building our portfolio. So even if they see you and they think you're still young, you have a portfolio to back you up. So by that time, pressure from family, everybody's like, you've done mechanical engineering for 6-7 years in UN. It's supposed to be 5, but UN with strikes.
So you did 7 years.
I did like 7 years, man. There were so many strikes. Anyway, so everybody's like, once you've done mechanical engineering, you at least have to practice. So just to appease the folks, I had to at least give it a chance. Yeah. So
how long did you do it? After another 1 month, you went and extended?
No, after 1 month, I just went back to the business. I told them, I tried. I gave it my best shot.
And how was the conversation after now you've gone for 7 years? That's like school fees and all that. And then you ended up now doing something totally different. How was that conversation with your folks, with family and all that?
Luckily, my folks are chill. But I know they felt the pinch of paying. Those were millions because I went to parallel. So those were millions, yeah. So I know they felt the pinch.
Pins.
I know.
Pins.
Should have given me the money, but
Capital.
Yeah. But I know they really wanted So I had to have that hard conversation with them. With our parents, as much as there's a lot of love, they still need to get to the point of understanding where they're like, okay, let me trust that you know what you're doing. So they eventually got there. My siblings also got there. And once they started seeing that I'm actually making a living from it, of course, I started small. I was in a small 1-bedroom somewhere in Ruiru, trying to save up, and I couldn't go out as much as I would want to, meet up with friends as much as I would want to. So, but eventually it started growing and we started making more money and meeting better clients. And now we're here. Yeah, we thank God.
How long has it been?
I would say fully doing this 3 years, but the company has been in operation for like 7 years. Yeah.
And what's your greatest takeaway from starting a business?
Just go for it. Like, you never know. Nobody knows what to expect. Go for it. Do enough research. Have faith. Pray.
Pray, by the way.
Pray. Definitely pray. Because I believe if that is what you're passionate about, it's one of the best decisions you can make for yourself. Though you don't have to uproot everything. If you already have something that is working for you right now, you can do it on the side as you do business. Because personally, for me, my long-term goal is to retire in my business. I don't want to be employed per se. So that's where I'm putting a lot of my effort and my time, and surrounding myself with smart individuals who know what they're doing.
We'll go back to the company aspect. Let's go back to the school aspect. We get a lot of people ask, is it worth going to campus when you're going to go and do side hustles? People with degrees don't get jobs, so why are you going to school? Like, is that degree really important?
Definitely. Me, after I spent all that time in school,
how is it important?
Me was saying that I have to use it either to import parts or to start a garage. Now, you see, the thing is, the beauty of campus for me was, even though, let's say, my course was not what I expected, I got a lot of exposure. I got to make a lot of friends also who are in that field.
So
Exactly.
I think we go to school to
network, basically. So now, even if at some later point, because now I'm trying to build wealth. And my friends, let's say, are following engineering, if that's their passion. So what I'll do is, at some later point, we can collaborate on a project. I tell them, I have X amount of money. Let's start a top-end garage, or let's import these parts and sell it to these companies, because now I have the business mind. So that's how I'm planning to use my degree, because I'm sure for you to import some of these things, you actually need some papers as well.
And also the know-how
of
how everything works.
I don't know if I have the know-how anymore, but
probably even start a mechanical engineering factory so that people can actually do actual mechanical engineering work.
That would be perfect. Because I think I still have that.
For you.
Thank you. I received it.
For you.
Thank you so much. That would be great. But for me, I think I got to that point where I was like, look for money and then chase passions later. But surprisingly enough, what I'm doing now in digital has become a passion as well. I didn't think it would, but it's one of my greatest passions. So it's interesting.
You're smart in digital.
I
know I'm a digital person, but this guy...
we try.
So being humble, Lord.
We try.
So being humble. Well, atukupata unaona ile song atukupata pesa ndio sijui tupumue. Unaona kusema kupata knowledge ndio watu wapumue.
We try, because I'm sure one thing that you learn about this industry is, as the more you network, you meet people who are brilliant. And then you're like,
who's smarter than you?
I know. And then you're like, I have to go back and read up some more. Because people are smart out here.
It's an evolving industry. What was the biggest challenge when starting a company and running a company for that long?
First of all, the number one that is always there, money. We didn't have money at all. Secondly, now support. People don't understand. They say you're smart, you should be doing mechanical. I mean, you should be actually get employed, start growing in ranks and all that. People don't understand when you're willing to risk it all. But I'm sure now with more exposure and people actually understanding the job market, people are more willing to understand when you're willing to take a risk. There will be more.
You have that conversation. Like you know your heart and spirit and soul is there. You've done your research, but everybody's like, are you sure? Like, how do you overcome that doubt that is imposed in you from other people?
For me, my coping mechanism, it might be different for someone else. For me, it was faith. So I fell back on my faith. I started praying. I started trusting and listening. Well, there will be times that I would actually be very heartbroken because you've done a lot of work.
Yeah.
You put in a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then you're not getting anything back. So those times, I think for me, I always fall back on my faith. And that has gotten me this far. Yeah.
Mpende Mungu. Nasemanga hapa, mpendeni Mungu.
Yeah, that's my defense, my fallback always. I always go back to where it started.
Yeah. So let me ask you, I've wanted to start businesses and I've wanted to start with partners. And a lot of people, mostly older people, will be like, partners, what. So are you still together with your two partners?
So it happens that when I was starting the business, my two co-partners were my parents. Yeah, so yes, we're still together.
Social media?
No, not those ones. Like the ones, when you're registering the company, that time you need to have at least 3 directors.
Oh, yours was like a limited
Yeah, it was a limited liability.
Dude.
Yeah. I don't dream small. I started big. I didn't even have money for the lawyer. But I was like, I'm gonna do this. Yeah. So the other two people that we started with, yes, we're still tight. We still work together occasionally, but it's funny to see that how everybody takes their own journey. Because this was my baby, this was my dream.
You were the vision bearer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for them, let's say this guy who was doing web now is going to do amazing things. He's in Microsoft. He's doing well for himself. Yeah. But now when we get big clients who actually need that level of expertise, of course, now because we work together for a long time and we're still friends, he's a contact. Same with the friend that we started with, Artworks.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how things play out. Everything just, I feel, usually settles where it's supposed to.
And as a vision carrier, the vision bearer, how do you get a team that actually infuses into like your vision and actually marries into it, so that you can actually accomplish what you as a vision bearer want to accomplish?
That's a good question. I think I'm still learning. I'm still learning that, because I think in a business like mine, the biggest resource you have is manpower.
That's true.
So getting the right people is one of the hardest things that you can possibly do. Because yes, there are people out here who tell you, I can do X, Y, Z. And then you give them an opportunity. Because personally, I like empowering young individuals who are passionate about what they're doing, because that's what someone gave me a chance, so I'd like to give them a chance as well. But then sometimes they'll disappoint you so badly, you're like, where you guy? But then over time you get to learn your people. You get to know your people who not only work well but also gel with your personality, because I'm not that kind of overbearing boss. I like people who are proactive. They can work by themselves. So if you get people who actually
need supervision.
Supervision is hard for me. It's hard for me, because I feel like by the time you're coming here, you know what you need to do, because you also have a personal vision as much as you're trying to carry the vision of the company. And for me, those people, I would go lengths with those people because I admire them. I feel like it's quite
so
cool.
What you've learned, so now I think you develop a sixth sense.
Yeah, after having a few conversations, you kind of feel that this person is good for you. Yeah. But you always give everybody a chance. I think I try to give everybody a chance when we have that particular opening in the company. So I won't dismiss you, let's say, because I'm not feeling your vibe. Because maybe your vibe, you might be very opposite from me, but your work is exceptional.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a chance.
Yeah. And did you get a mentor, or how are you able to learn this new skill? Do you listen to podcasts, all those things? How have you been able to develop yourself?
So to be honest, I'm not a reading person. I don't enjoy reading at all. But thank God for YouTube. Thank God for I would read, but something factual, something that is actually teaching me something.
Yeah.
So I'm a very curious guy when it comes to things that I'm interested in. So right now I'm interested in digital, in web, in tech generally.
Yeah.
So I would find myself reading articles on tech, going on YouTube just to see what's going on, and trying to look at tabloids and other new articles on the new things that are coming out. So that's what I would do, but primarily now the video side, not the reading side, unless I have to. Yeah, unless I have to.
So YouTube has been your greatest teacher?
My greatest asset.
Do you have a mentor?
Unfortunately, no. This, it's so hard to get a mentor though. I thought it would be easy, but it's so hard. I had one mentor, but now he's a business mentor. But then you see, as a businessman, and a successful businessman at that, you don't have time.
Oh yeah.
I don't have time to
Like
be.
the people who you want to mentor you don't have the time
Don't
for
have
you
the
as
time.
much as they're willing.
They may be good and willing, but then you guys talk once in 3 months, once a month. You're not really getting that kind of mentorship that you'd actually require. So for me, I personally try now with young people in digital, sorry, to be there as much as I can. Though now I'm slowly becoming one of those people. My time is getting smaller and smaller.
But that's good because it means you're growing.
We thank God for the opportunities it's brought, but I'm really trying to see how I can, mentor in a better way.
Do you think having a mentor is important? Because most people who you see like are successful, they'll be like, oh, my mentor, my mentor. So do you think it's important to have a mentor?
Definitely, because I feel like you don't have to start from scratch. You don't have to make a lot of these mistakes that I made because that person has been there before. They've done that, so they'll probably give you better advice. But now I think there are opportunities to get mentors. I think there are programs for that. But personally, I had a very hard time getting a mentor in my field.
Maybe it's been tough.
It's hard.
It's tough.
Hard things.
It's tough. But anyway, we move.
Yeah.
So if you, looking back, if you were to do one thing differently, what would you have done differently?
I was about to say something so controversial.
No, it's okay. Say it. We love controversy.
I would have quit campus in second year and told my folks invest in me.
You know, actually agree because I was in the same place. Me that day nilingia by faith and by fire.
But then it's so hard because that's what the system expects you to do. Go through high school, then campus, then get a job, then retire, then go farm somewhere. But then
You see, our class, because I did fashion, most people really quit. Like, the people who started with first year, some quit like second year, and they're really doing amazing stuff.
Well,
Apple?
do not.
Kurakiru.
This should not be the advice we're giving people.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Go
to school.
It's important.
But I was saying, personally, what I would have done, I would have quit campus and then enrolled in courses in what I like.
Oh,
yeah, now like
things you're more passionate and more driven towards.
Exactly. So like now that I decided to go into business, I would have done a business course. For example, to know how to manage a business, how to run a business. Then after that, if I decided to do digital, then I would do something in digital. Probably even if it's an online degree that would help me in digital, then that's what I would have focused on.
Yeah.
So we're not trying to say that learning is not important, but know what you want. Don't waste time doing other things.
Yeah. And I think mostly discover what you want to do, mostly second year.
Yeah.
There's something after second year you start realizing I'm not as passionate for this as I was. And it's okay. It's okay to like just say, I have a friend who actually did fashion and then he was like, this is not for me. And he went and he quit and he started first year analytical chem because that's what he was passionate about.
Well,
and you'll see like, oh, I am older than the first years and there's that cash shame that comes with it, but go for it.
Yeah, it's your own life, it's your own journey. If you let shame or something discourage you from taking your own path, like later on, you'll actually sit back and regret, because I feel like if you really lean on people's opinions, that's going to be, you're going to hate yourself later for that. Yeah, be strong-willed, go with what you feel. Yeah.
This me myself, I love it. It says, if there's any weight you should lose, it's the weight of other people's opinion. Credit is not to me, it's a meme on Instagram.
But I like it, yeah.
You like it? But it's true.
It makes sense. Yeah.
So, where do you see yourself? Okay, not where do you see yourself? That's such a unique question. What will you tell someone who is trying to start a business and they're like, I don't have the capital, I don't have people around me? What will you tell that person?
So my advice would really count if they're a fellow person of faith. Yeah. For me, pray about it. Really pray about it. Trust God and go for it. If like you feel in your heart after you pray that this is what is there for you, go for it. Because I feel like when I started out, I didn't have any money at all. But money came. Yeah, money came at some point through friends, through family. People take a chance on you. You have that rich uncle somewhere, atakupatia business card job. You make 5K there. You take that 5K and then plow it back into paying a lawyer to do some memorandums for you and stuff like that. So that's how I grew pole to a place where yeah, I could actually start managing my own self. So don't wait for capital to come. Capital will come as you go
How
on.
old are you?
29. Just turned 29. I'm old, man. So,
You know people who are below even 40 when they say they're old. Naangalianga hivi.
you know, when you get to 29, you know that means that is somewhere in the corner, you know.
You're getting there.
Yeah, I'm getting
But why
there.
do people feel that is that much?
You know, that's when you're living your 20s, like you're no longer young. You know, in your 20s, you're young and...
But youth is until 35.
Well, so according to the government, but for the moment you hit 30, me, I feel like you're old. So, yeah.
Let me tell you, I have grandparents who are like 96 and all that. And then I see I'm 20 and I look like the journey I have to live. And I'm like, me, by the way, I'm still young.
Me, Nivile too. It's something, it's a stage in life. So I'm learning to accept it. I think once you get to 30, you're like, yeah, so you're an adult. I think now you feel like an adult.
Shall call you when you get to 35. When you're 36. When you're living your youth. And we shall hear what you have to say then.
Hopefully I'd be wise. I would have a better... yeah.
Okay. Some of the last questions. I think I'd like to know. When you start a business, okay, we have tackled starting a business, you have no capital and all that. But what would you tell someone who is also fearing to make the jump?
I personally find fear as something very interesting. So, because if you're so scared of something, at the end of the day, if it's something, let's say, of course, you're scared of jumping off a cliff, that's smart. Don't jump off a cliff. But if you're scared
Unless you have a parachute.
yeah, true. Or a bungee cord. Anyway, but if you are scared, and the only reason why you're scared is you don't know if you'll fail. So you start, you try, and then you fail. Now you know. Like it's what you have. You're scared of a possibility. You're not scared of a fact.
I love that.
Yeah. So why would you? There's this guy who said, I like this. I'm a sports guy, so I love watching NBA and the like. So there's this movie that I was watching some point. Someone was saying that you miss 100% of the shots you do not take. You know, so would you rather miss 100%, even if the probability of you succeeding is 50%? Why not take a risk? The worst that can happen is you confirm your fear and then now you move.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I feel like fear is something that holds a lot of people back and you shouldn't allow it to. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, it's like I remember when I was working in this company and people would really fear to go to my boss, and I'm like, why? The worst that can happen is a no, and you really expect the no.
Yeah.
So the worst that can happen, you really expect it. So and the best that can happen is to get a yes.
Yeah.
So don't live in your expectations.
Exactly, and your fear.
And your fear. What's the other? Okay, so in those 3 years, is there a point in starting the business you're like, I need to put this aside. I need to go back to getting employed. I need to do other things. Have you been in that position?
Hey, so many times.
How do you overcome that?
So many times. So I thank God for, by the time I was getting there, I had a better support system. Like personally, then my girlfriend, I remember now, after, we had not gone on a date for like a whole year. We had not gone on a date for a whole year. So, I'm like one of those lucky people.
Has grace.
I know.
She has grace.
So I was broke. I was so broke. I'm putting in a lot of work and effort. So I remember having this conversation with her and I'm like, yeah, babe, I want to quit. I think I'll go back to employment for a bit, make some monies, then come back and restart the business. And she was like, you put in so much work and I have so much faith in you. Why are you quitting right now? Just keep moving. Just keep trying. And surprisingly enough, a few months after that, we landed one of our biggest clients. So this effort that we were putting in for this year was not in vain.
Yeah.
People are noticing. It's just that they didn't come when we were expecting them to come.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I feel like from that point, that was the latest one, at least we've not gone back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been growth continuously. So, yeah, having a good support system around you and then falling back on faith and things like
Kudos
that.
to her.
I know.
You married her, right?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now that you're a man of faith, I was reading someone the other day and he was saying Elijah prayed for rain not to come, and then he prayed after 3 years. Then he prayed for rain to come, and then when the rain came, plants started coming. meaning there were seeds that were already planted on the ground.
Exactly.
So what you're doing is planting the seed, and then now the rain comes.
Yeah.
To do that, don't give up.
True, because you don't know who's watching, you don't know, who's listening out there. So someone will take a chance on you. Eventually, if you're doing something good and you're consistent, someone will take a chance on you.
Yeah. Parting shots. I think we were trying to keep these things short and sweet.
Go for your dreams. Yeah, you're your only limitation, and have faith. Pray.
I love that, because I keep telling people, the sky is not the limit. You are the limit.
Yeah, true, definitely. Because I actually feel sometimes that I dream small. I actually need to dream bigger than I do. And everybody around me always says that I dream big. But yeah, what's to stop me from wanting to have the biggest agency in the world at some point? Yeah.
Have you ever suffered imposter syndrome?
I'm trying to remember. Maybe because I'm very introverted, maybe when I'm in a crowd, but not with my dreams, no. Yeah.
That's such a great power to have.
Yeah, because I rarely rely on people's opinions of me and my business and my career. I rely on, now that I'm married, surprisingly, my wife's opinion really matters for some reason. But before her, I was very strong-willed.
That's what they call better halves.
Yeah, but it's hard for me to get that, because I feel like I get my identity from my faith, from Christ, not from my worth, and not from the money that I have or how successful my business is or things like that.
I like that. Anyway, so thank you, Colin.
Thank you.
And I hope you have learned. Me personally, I have learned a lot. Me, after this, I'm dreaming. I'm overcoming my fears, and I'm going afterwards. I hope you have learned something, and thank you for watching until the end. If you've watched till the end, please follow us on our social media handles, that is TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and also follow us and listen on Spotify and here on YouTube, and you can subscribe. And until next time, walk your journey in confidence. Bye.
Bye. See you.